you a couple relevant 2021 business credit cards that'll work for you. My big thing is that I found that I was watching a ton of videos and I wasn't getting any useful information. And part of it was clickbait, of course, as usual. Second thing was, with everything that's going on, information is changing by the day. If you've been seeing what's going on today, what is today, January the 28th, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. But in the financial realm, background, I'm not an accountant, I'm not a financial planner. I've worked in banking a couple years of my life, and with that, I've done a lot of self-study. All the information you're getting is self-studied information that anybody can look up, anybody can learn, but it does require some time and commitment. So I'm not making recommendations for any products or services, but just letting you know what I found out from some personal experience and some research. So instead of wasting your time, I'll get straight to it. So this year, what I've been looking to do is look for small business funding. Isn't everybody, but right now in particular, it seems very hard for new businesses to get funding because the preoccupation really is, existing businesses that have been around, that have been bolstering our economy for years, and that's super important, so not taken away from that. But with that, it seems like right now might be a really difficult time to get the financing to start a new business that doesn't have a reputation, that doesn't have backing, that doesn't have tax returns. And so everything right now is based on your personal credit. I'm gonna be honest with you, the days of PG, as far as no PG, they're gone. Like, everything now is gonna be a personal guarantee. So what does that mean? Personal guarantee basically means that we're looking at your credit. Whether or not we post it on your credit doesn't matter, but we're looking at your credit to evaluate you for this business lending. And so, essentially, how does that make an impact? On the front end, if you're paying your bills on time, no impact whatsoever. If it comes down to the point of if you're missing a payment or delinquent, then it reflects back on your personal credit. So again, it doesn't really make a huge difference unless you're not paying. And so getting out to the nitty gritty, I'll say last 6 months, since we're in a new year. Last 6 months, I've applied for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 business credit cards. The big thing is they are pulling your personal credit, but none of them report on my personal credit. So the first one I'll start off with, and that was the first or second that I applied for, is going to be the Chase Business Inc. With this one, you get some reward points. I won't go into the details. I'll cover that in another video about all the details on these cards that I'm talking about today, but I'll just tell you a little bit about each one of them, and my limits and things, and what really provoked me to apply for it. So this Chase Business Cash is a rewards card. I have a pre-existing relationship with Chase, been with Chase when it was Washington Mutual. And so long-standing relationship. Big thing is they did pull my credit on this. Had to jump through some hoops because I keep everything frozen and locked 24/7. Another video, another time. If you have questions, let me know. With this one, I was able to get $6,000. $6,000. So just to hurry it on, jump to the second card I applied for. Which one was next? Second card was the American Express Business Cash. Can you see that? A little bit of glare. Got this new ring light, super excited about it. American Express Business Cash. So, full transparency. So everyone's saying everything is about relationships. Give or take. True, but I can tell you why in relationships to the American Express Business Cash, why relationships may have harmed me a little bit. So I've had an American Express branded Delta card, through American Express for the greater of a decade or more, on the personal side of the house. And on that card, I think it's $10,000, $10,000 credit limit. And so with that, I got an approval for the business card, the business cash card. And what they did was they took away from my personal limit to extend my business limit. And so, again, depends on how important that is to you. Let me tell you why I cared about that and why I was actually irate about that, because they didn't tell me that's what they were going to do. Angry because if you're credit savvy, you know that your total available credit versus how much you're using of your credit plays into your DTI, which essentially plays into your credit score. So essentially, they just pulled $1,000 from my available credit, which will essentially make my DTI look higher, and put it on a business credit card, which of course on the business side, that's a benefit, but the business credit doesn't reflect anywhere. So as far as my financial picture goes, it was harmful for me. So I had to call, talk to customer service, complain, throw in their face that I had been with them 10, 11 years at this point, and how that was unacceptable, especially because when I applied over the phone, nobody told me they planned on doing that. And they're like, well, we have in our notes that you consented to that. I was like, why would I ever consent to that? I said, that's not a good deal. I would have just opted for you to give me the lower credit limit on my business card and keep my personal one the same, because it's impacting my personal credit score. And so after I talked to a couple people, complained, I was on the chat like I'm one of those people just typing away frantically. I finally spoke to someone and he was like, we can fix it. And I was like, what exactly does we can fix it mean? So he went further to say that we'll move your personal line back to what it was and keep the new business credit line the same. So I'm thinking, you could have done that the whole time then, right? Anyway, I didn't argue with the guy, so that's what ended up happening. So on the business cash card, I currently have a credit limit of $9,000, and I still now have my $10,000 on the personal side. So the next card I applied to was another Chase card, the Chase Business Unlimited. I know they look super similar. One is black and one is blue, but I promise you they're different cards. So there is the Chase Inc. Business Cash, and then the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited. Again, I'll cover some of the technicalities of those cards in another video, but essentially I will say that the point structure is just different. I think one of them is like 3% on everything, and the other one might be a 1.5% with some special categories, or vice versa. Don't quote me on it. Don't have it in front of me. And so I applied for one in September, and then I came back and applied for the other one, I believe, in November. Again, outdated information that I've seen circulated is that you have to wait 6 months. False. The biggest thing with any credit pull, any inquiry on your credit report, hard inquiry, which typically credit cards do make hard inquiries, they're going to count against your credit score. After a certain number of them, they might not count as harshly. And then there are ways that you can go about getting those removed, which may or may not be worth your time depending on what you plan on doing after that. But it's possible. And so I'll say those two cards, this one, another $6,000. So that's $12,000 with Chase on the business side of the house. I, of course, have Chase personal cards as well, completely separate. They report on my personal credit every month. Business doesn't report on anything. Oh, and I'll add that the 3 cards I just told you about, they all came with 0% introductory APR for 12 months, all 3 of them. And so, again, if you have moves to make, biggest recommendation is applying for the cards close to when you're going to need them, not too much time beforehand, because you're going to waste all that time of the 0% APR. Big recommendation on that. Next one that I applied to, and I applied to this one, so everything's running together. I think this might be another November card. This is actually with Navy Federal. I'm a service member, so there's that. But again, Navy Federal membership, there are other ways to go about getting it. You have to just look on the website, see what criteria that you personally meet with that. But that is the Navy Federal Business Rewards. This card, no, so downside. Downside is no introductory APR. It is what it is. They're not, I guess they're probably not needing to give you anything because everyone's looking for funding right now. So understandable. Good card in that it is a rewards card. The highest limit of all is $15,000 by itself. So that blows my 2 Chase cards out of the water when it comes to available credit limits already. 15,000. I believe the interest rate might be a 15%. That sounds wrong. Maybe it's like 8%. It's one of those. Either way, it's not 0%. So this is always my last go-to card. I'll use it for things that I'm going to pay off right then. So that way I don't care about what the interest rate is anyway. And then of course, just continuing to develop that relationship with Navy Federal. I have my personal accounts with them as well. But again, I don't think relationship really played a part in this. I think it came down to, again, personal credit. The last card that I actually just applied to this month, January 2021, I don't have in my physical possession yet, is the BB&T card. It is the basic, I believe Spark is what it's called. I'll update you when I physically get it. Was approved. Well, I say ties with Navy Federal. Also $15,000 credit limit. They told me that over the phone. But they do have the 12-month introductory period as well. Who would have known BB&T? They just recently merged with SunTrust, referred to as Truist now, but they're still operating independently. Excuse me. Recently merged with SunTrust, now operating, they're still operating as 2 different systems. So it's kind of a benefit for the consumer right now because any products that you get with either bank are still going to be 2 separate products. So when you go and apply for something with SunTrust and then BB&T, they're not talking right now, even though they'll tell you, now Truist, they both say that, but their systems are not talking just yet. And so if there's anything you're looking to get on either side of the house, it would probably be good to get it before the merger because no telling what their product packages are going to look like after the merger is done. But that's all I have for you right now. Those are the, how many did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 business credit cards that I've applied to in less than the 6-month time frame that's recommended. I know there are services out here that are advising you and telling you that, they'll do this streamlined process for you and charge you a 9.99% finder's fee to get you approved for all these credit cards. Personally, if you have decent credit and you can navigate yourself and you don't mind doing a little bit of research, I would recommend trying to do it yourself before you go and pay someone essentially 10% of whatever you get. I mean, if I did everything, I said 15, that's 30, plus, what did I say, another 12, 42,000, and then add American Express on there, another 9, that's, what is that, $51,000. And imagine if I had to pay someone 10% to fill out an application for me. That's $5,100 that I'd just be in the loss. So I'd already not be getting the full extended credit that I qualify for. So I know there's a temptation to go out here and pay people to do certain things, but at this point, a little research literally saves you money. And when you're talking about small business owners starting a new business, every penny counts. I know time is super important. I know that, but every cent counts because you don't want to get in a predicament where you now owe anybody a percentage of your credit limit and you really need it for business product. I just don't want to be in that boat. But anyway, if you like the video, please like, please share. Also drop below anything that you want me to talk about. Like I said, I'm not in this as a professional. I'm here just giving a lot of self-study. I've been researching for years when it comes to finances, money. It's just something that has always intrigued me. And so any topics you feel like we need to cover, let's talk about it. But anyway, thank you for joining me. Please like, please share, please comment. And I look forward to talking to you next time. Peace.